loser.
Correct.
That's why I always say savers or losers.
Right.
So my preference is any bank that will lend you the damn money.
All right. What's going on, good people? It is Israel right here with Real Business Talk TV.
And this is Terrence Alexander with Real Business Talk TV.
And today we're about to go into some of the things that we like when it comes to business, when it comes to personal, and everything in between.
Let's go. This video is sponsored by EveryScent.us, man. We got 15,000 fragrances at your fingertip. You go to EveryScent.us. We got all the designer fragrances you need, from anything you need, basically, like from Baccarat to Bonds to, even if you like the curve, we got it on there. So go to EveryScent.us and we got you. Let's go.
All right, so today I just wanted to hit on some of the stuff that me and Terrence have talked about throughout the week. And usually that's where a lot of our content and ideas come from. It's conversations that we have that we want to share with people that we're like, man, if other people knew this really might help them move the needle in their life. So something that was brought up was talking about banks. A lot of people either don't know the importance of banks or might just need a little bit more insight on why having relationships with banks or just being able to go to banks are important in your business. So what's your approach when you go to banks?
Just a little backstory. A lot of people think a bank is a place, because a lot of our parents teach us like saving is the thing. Savers or losers is really in the business world. So when you go to a bank, you want to kind of build like a relationship with your bank. Because most people put their money in, they get no return or a little return on their money. I think it's like 0.75 now, so that ain't nothing. So when I go to a bank, I'm building a relationship. I only do business with banks that I can build a relationship with. So I want to know the lending officer. So me personally, my approach is when I go to the bank, I'm going to ask, is it a pool lending, or you have to, can they make a decision on the spot? Some banks can make a decision on the spot. Some banks are pool lending.
So when they make a decision, what, like, explain?
The decision, most banks want to see cash flow. Mm-hmm. Like if you have no cash flow, I won't say they give a startup business a loan, but you have the SBA. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people was familiar with the SBA as far as like the PPPs or the EIDLs, but the SBA have a lot of different programs. So you can go to the SBA if you're a startup business. But if you're a more seasoned business, you can go to a couple of your local banks and then you can apply for some funding if you have cash flow. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, cause a lot of people push the narrative like, get a business credit card. And that's cool. If you gotta start with a business credit card, get a business credit card.
Yeah.
But the cash flow is king. How much money do your business produce every month?
Single day?
And that's what a bank is gonna look at when you're seasoning it, and they're gonna ask for, 2 years of tax return. Mm-hmm. But how you can get them kind of in a soft spot, what I always like to do is, I like to meet with the president of the bank. Mm-hmm. And you can find them. The banks have a lot of presidents, so I take the president to lunch, I talk to him, and I get the lending parameters.
Right.
And then I go put together a packet like that. And another thing people need to do is keep their books tight. Mm-hmm. You have to keep your books tight, because I know a lot of beginning entrepreneurs, we throw cash here, throw cash there, cash app here, cash app there, Venmo, whatever you use.
Right.
But even if you're doing it like that, you still can have a system to put all your numbers in place the way your books are tight.
Correct.
Because a bank will look at that.
Yeah. And I know you had mentioned kind of earlier just about big banks and little banks. Like a lot of people know of credit unions. And if you don't know about credit unions, they are definitely a great help, especially for small businesses. I know with like Navy Federal, they're really good.
Correct.
What's your preference between, let's say, a Bank of America versus a smaller bank or a community bank?
It depends on your relationship with a bank. A lot of people don't understand a bank is a business itself.
Facts.
So a bank is a business. Y'all get that. They make money from lending you money.
There you go.
A lot of people don't understand that. That's why you open up a bank account.
Right.
Like a lot of people that save money, they put money in a bank, they saving it, and
die.
then they lending it to an entrepreneur.
Correct.
That's why I always say savers or losers.
Right.
So my preference is any bank that will lend you the damn money.
All right.
So I'm gonna go, if I'm starting in business, I'm gonna go to several different banks and see what kind of relationship, see what kind of programs the bank have.
Right.
So a lot of us see banks open up. That means if a bank has opened up in your area, they did market research in the area. Mm. And when I say market research, I mean they surveyed the area and seen that they need to put a bank right there.
Right.
I mean, if they put a bank right there, they open for business. Mm. I mean, you should go in that bank and open up a bank account. Correct. They open for business. I mean, they open to lend money.
And
not just
you're a
opening
client.
up.
Yeah, you're a client or a customer of the bank.
Correct.
You know
That's
what I'm
why
saying?
that's why the bank is really in the customer service business.
They
A lot of
definitely
people
are.
don't know that. Have never asked. Like,
Yeah.
okay, they get a a lot of our new entrepreneurs, they get a business credit card, then they stop right there. But you got all different kind of products that the bank can provide.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And make sure you guys pay attention to those interest rates on the credit cards when you get them, because a lot of the business credit cards, the interest rates are 28%.
Yeah.
And 28% interest is a lot compared to another product you can get at the bank. A line of credit that might be, 5%, 5 or 6%.
So what's the difference? I know we talk about this often, but just kind of explaining the difference between a line of credit and a credit card.
A credit card usually is gonna have higher interest. A line of credit has low interest. And a line of credit, you usually can use all the money right then. You can use it all with a credit card, but a credit card, you have to swipe at a merchant machine and they have a certain amount for cash advances you can use.
Right.
A line of credit is usually cash.
Right.
You can
You can
use
go
cash
in and
right
get-
in and there.
Got you. Yeah, I've had both. And the line of credit is better. In my opinion, it's better.
But you have to kind of work your way up to get a line of credit.
True.
Usually they don't, the banks won't give you a line of credit unless you've been in business for 2 years.
Or if you do, like I had a secured line of credit.
credit,
Yeah, so I had to take my own money
How did
up
that
there.
work? You put
It
your-
worked, but the timing was just bad. It was right before the pandemic, literally. So that when you try to go back and say, okay, let me get an unsecured, they're like, we're not lending out no money yet. We got, it was a hierarchy of who they was giving money to and how they were giving money out. So
And then a lot of times with the lines of credit, they want to see an asset. They want to see a balance sheet.
yeah,
And all of us, people don't understand when you're in business, you have assets.
yeah,
You have inventory. Inventory is an
That's
asset.
definitely an asset.
You have account receivables. That's an asset.
That's
People
money
don't
on the
look at
way.
it.
That's money that's on the
You
way.
have account receivables, like we said in a couple of the last videos. If you're in business and you don't have any account receivables, get some account receivables.
Correct.
Don't be scared to do business with somebody just because they're gonna pay you every 30 to 60 days.
Right.
Because banks look at that.
Correct.
They want to see how much money you got floating in the air. Because every business has money floating that they have to, collect.
Yeah.
So a lot of our new entrepreneurs, they say, you need to pay me right now.
yeah.
Pay me right now.
Yeah.
And that's usually when you're growing in business, that ain't how it always works.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, for some people, it could work like that, but in real life, it shouldn't even work like that. You should be trying to build out your book of business to where you got money lined up for this month, next month, the month after
And
that.
contracts and relationships
Correct.
with business, banks, and your personal relationships. Your whole life is based off relationships.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
Business is based off relationships. Your personal life is based off relationships.
Definitely.
And banks are based off relationships.
Facts.
So you're gonna get a relationship with your bank.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just don't go in there and don't be scamming, man.
No
'Cause
scamming.
when you mess up your relationships with certain banks, it's over with, to be perfectly honest, and you're not gonna be able to go back into these banks and use them ever again.
We can
So,
give you an example from our personal. Like we had a merchant processor that we had a relationship with.
Yep.
And sometimes, it'll be a large transaction that come through our merchant thing. And it's like simple as a call because we built a rapport with this merchant processor to where we could just call them and it's not, okay, they're not flagging it. So,
Freezing your
relationships are
stuff.
important.
Yeah, they'll freeze your money, if it's over a certain amount or if, anything can happen and they won't let you get the money or they'll refund it and be like, no, it's a fraud alert. But like you said, you build relationships and next thing you know, a text or a call away, they'll release the funds.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people have had their PayPal shut down, their
Square,
Square accounts
frozen, shut down.
but
Yep.
You have to build a relationship with all these people you're doing business with.
That's it right there.
So
yeah,
that's what we
definitely.
big on. Because we just had an issue like that this week.
Literally.
Where we said, okay. And then it was just like an email.
Yep.
Hey, did you do this transaction? Yeah,
Yep.
we did it. Okay, they approved the money right then and there.
There you go.
So that's what we big on.
Facts. All right, so just in life, period, do you feel like presentation does matter or it really is what it is? Like,
Yeah, perception is reality. Like I had an instance a couple of days ago. I got a new car, and a lady hit me in the back. She had an old car.
Right.
The police officer instantly, she was standing outside her car. He instantly came to my car and was like, "Hey man, she hit your Beamer." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people judge you by the way you look, the way you talk, the way you walk. if you're overweight, whatever.
Everything.
People judge you by the way you look. So
Facts.
I think your presentation definitely matters. You know, the world is not fair. A lot of people want the world to be fair, but you know, even the people that you think when judge you, like they might not be into fashion, but they definitely judge you by the way your fashion is. They judge you.
Yeah, like we talked about it before, just like everybody judges, even though people want to act like they don't.
Correct.
Everybody judges, and it's just a natural thing. You're gonna judge whether you feel like somebody is attractive or if they're not attractive or ugly as hell, or if they fat or if they skinny or if they short or tall. Like that's just a basic everyday judgment. It's not saying that makes you a bad person, but that's who you are and that's how people are. So I think perception is definitely reality and presentation matters too. We got another situation with like the products that we releasing with the beard goals. Just making sure that the packaging is right, the labeling is perfect. Like, obviously it's not gonna be 100% exactly how we might want it, but it does matter because it's our brand, it's our money, it's our energy and effort that we putting into it. So we want that shit to look right. You know what I'm saying? So the presentation doesn't matter.
In business, a lot of times in business with your fashion or your clothes, you can write it off.
That too.
It's a write-off. People don't know that. Like the way you know, like if you, like we might buy our clothes to film today. You could write it off.
Correct.
You know, because it's the expense of the business.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should take accountability with the way they dress and the way they look and their grooming, because you know, if you come in groomed up, the person be like, oh, okay, he's always clean. They remember you from that.
They take you a little bit more serious because it seems like you're taking yourself serious. Correct. So people gonna look at you like, damn, okay, he actually cares about his hair or his skin or his beard or nails, you know, getting manicures. Men, get manicures. Like I've been slipping, but I still make sure I cut my nails down and clean them out.
You know, we've been working a little hard, so we all be slipping.
But definitely try to start doing more of that self-care and taking care of yourself as far as the grooming. That shit is a major key. A lot of people pay attention to it, especially like we talked about going to the banks. They looking at what you got on,
and
how
most
your
of the
nails
banks,
look.
if you're a male, you know, most of the bankers are women.
Correct.
So they, you know, women are way more observant than men. So they really looking.
They looking. They want to see what you smell like, all that, you know. So be mindful of that too.
The president of one of the banks I bank with, she's a lady. So, you know, she's big. You know, she always say, well, you keep yourself very groomed. That's one of the things she say.
That's good.
You know, you go in the bank, and when you going into the bank, you know, we like our hood, wear whatever, but put on a suit.
Put a suit on.
You know, get you, I call it a uniform.
There you go.
Yeah, get you a uniform.
Yeah.
And have that same look every time you go in the bank.
Yeah, because a lot of people feel, oh, it don't really matter. It definitely
matters. Because they looking at you. You have heard a
matters.
million people saying like they got tats in the face, they got this, and they saying that the bank's just hitting them up and saying they ending the relationship. Not saying you're gonna let a bank control you, but it's still, you know, real. They need us, we need them.
Correct.
So we need, especially if you're a new business owner, you need the money. So your presentation definitely matters.
And you don't want them to not give you a chance based off of something that you can control.
Correct.
For the most part, you can control how you come to the bank. If you can put on a dress shirt, some slacks, and put it on, and as soon as you get out, take that shit off and throw it in the back of the car.
Because I know I hear a lot of entrepreneurs, they be like, I don't like suits.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like,
I like to put that shit on.
I love it.
You know,
I like all type of fashion.
Me too. Streetwear, like you said, if you want to do something that's loungy, if you want to do something that's dressed up, put a tux on, all that.
Correct. So, you know, that's just my game. If you ask me for the advice, and it's somebody that has borrowed a lot of money from banks over the years, I would say your presentation definitely matter. Like go in the bank, put on a suit, make sure everything is clean, make sure your nails are clean, make sure, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna just put it simple, make sure you wash your face.
There you go.
Make sure, and then another tip, some bankers don't like fragrances. So I know a lot of us, we love fragrances, but you know, they can deter you from doing the deal.
Yeah.
You know, you got on that fragrance, they're like,
it's gonna bother their nose, and they're like, oh, it's kind of strong.
Especially like a lot of white males I have dealt with in the banking industry. They don't really like fragrances, a lot of them, you know. That's just a tip. Yeah. From what I understand. They be like, oh, this is like a skunk or whatever. You know, what the hell is that?
Damn, that's true though.
I'm not saying like, you know, you gotta give in like that, but just tips.
Yeah,
like,
things to be mindful of, because it could be something so small that can stop you or help you get that deal or make that relationship or build that collaboration. Because that's the thing too, like it's not just about the banks, it's about either dealing with other businesses. Correct. You know, even outside of the monetary, when you're going and talking to somebody else, you looking like you actually care enough to put some clothes on. And you ain't gotta put nothing extremely expensive on, but at least put well together. Look like you actually
Put
give a
yourself
damn.
together like you thought about it.
Yeah, like you put some thought behind it, because that matters.
Because I always tell people to treat they self like they would treat somebody they actually cared about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So treat yourself like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should definitely treat yourself well and make sure that you, like you said, put some thought behind this stuff, because the intentional decisions that you make are gonna help you long term.
Even like when you have kids, you want to teach them to get up and put themselves together.
Correct.
Make sure they brush their
Brush their teeth and wash their face.
Make
Yeah.
it, you know, if you make your bed, it changes the
change the whole day.
serotonin levels in your mind.
Correct.
Or if you straighten up a room, it changes the
Yeah.
way you think that day. A lot of people,
All
it's
that.
just like a little hack, like getting in the shower. You get in the shower, you ain't never had them thoughts come to you in the shower. You
Definitely.
be like, damn.
Revelations, you like epiphanies, yeah, dang it.
It's the water. You
Yeah.
know, it's the hot water. It's stimulating something.
Yeah.
So, you know, you
Yeah.
look good, you feel good, you smell good, you feel good.
There you go. So we kind of hinted on a little bit, but the collaborations, how important do you think collaborations are in businesses?
I think collaborations is everything. If you don't have no support, you ain't gonna be in business.
Correct.
You need support in business. You need collaborations. And I think if you're in business, you should show support. You should show people
There you
support.
go. There you go.
It's just like I seen you the other day. You put something up with your daughter, right?
Yeah.
I went right, click.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
support the kids anyway, but it's
Yeah.
just like it take a village to do anything.
Correct.
In business. In personal and business, it take a village. So
And it don't always have to be big things. It could just be, you know, a call. Hey, I'm just making sure you're straight.
Correct.
Like, just little stuff like that. Cause
Or a little advice. Or
Little advice.
somebody to vent to. You might need somebody, you might just need an ear.
correct.
Because you know, in business, you go through a lot of stuff, and somebody can tell you a joke or tell you something funny and change your day.
Whole day, yeah. And I think that the collaboration is what helps build and makes the brand stronger, because now you have other people vouching for what you say you're good at. So for me, being a grooming specialist, like I've collaborated with barbers, I've collaborated with skincare professionals, I collaborate with bigger brands and businesses, but now I have resources now that I can reach out to that can stamp me and say, you know what, and he
Yeah.
came, yes, he was official, he did what
It's
he's
sort of
supposed
like
to
the
do.
politician effect. I'm an apolitical, but you know, like a lot of people get behind Democrats. They
Facts.
don't, right or wrong, they be with them. A lot of
Correct.
people get behind Republicans.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, they be with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
you
kind of
just
like
need
that
people-
effect. You
Yeah.
need that. You need that kind of support in business. I
Correct.
think.
Yeah, and
You need-
it's building a just building a good rapport and relationship. Going back to
Yeah.
that's the phrase that pays. Like relationships that's the
You know,
biggest part.
building a following.
Yeah.
You need a following. People, people pay close attention when you're building a brand. They
Fact.
looking. And they want to see you tell the truth sometimes.
Yeah,
Like some people try to make sure they brand is just perfect. Everything is perfect, but nothing in life is perfect.
Nah.
So you have to make some mistakes to make some money.
correct. Yeah, being transparent about especially the process. I know Adam always tells me like, hey, they want to see the process. They want to see the process, and that shit is real. Like
Yeah.
people do want to see it start from scratch and look terrible and be fucked up, and then as soon
And the way
as
to get the truth is to what?
tell the truth.
Tell the fucking truth.
So telling the truth, that's gonna get people to be like, you know what? I want to support this. Like I know when I was doing the exclusive experience, that was big. Like me just showing when it was dirt in there and people was donating and supporting and coming to the grand opening and collaborating and giving me free products, all that shit. But it was because I was telling the whole story and letting
telling
people
the
see.
community.
Correct.
And another thing, I think a lot of us is Black African Americans, because I'm always speaking for us, because I am
Right.
unapologetically black.
yeah.
So a lot of us, we're scared to fail, or we demonize somebody that failed. But most people demonize somebody that failed and they didn't even try.
Why you think it is that people demonize failure?
Because they never seen it, or most of the time when they go to school, if you make bad grades, you're a failure. But
Right.
in business, it don't matter what kind of grades you make. It just matters if you
Get
make
it
money
done.
or you didn't.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
That's
Most
it.
people in business, they ain't going off school. I will say school matters, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying they demonize failure. Like if our kids make a bad grade, we say, do better.
Yeah.
But in business, I would rather be in business with somebody that had 100 failures,
Yeah.
because they gonna know how to approach
What to do,
every
what
business
not
at
to do.
different angles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my take on it. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think people just don't it's just a negative narrative around failure. Like failure gives you a chance to learn what to do and what not to do. And shit, failing is first of all, it's part of life, period.
And it's just a simple hack. Failure is just testing.
Yeah, and if it work, it work. If it don't, keep going.
It's just like you do anything, like creating content or like, just think about people first time driving if you want to make it simple.
Yeah.
When you first drove, you weren't the best driver. You was really failing.
Correct.
You failed your way to success to stay in that motherfucking lane.
Correct.
Because you remember old people would say, don't fight with the wheel, don't fight with the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you learn how to drive. So, you fail at everything you do in the beginning.
Right.
People
Until you get better at it, and then it's a part of your regular routine.
It's just like basketball players. They didn't start off,
Facts.
the best basketball
It was
player.
airballing and hitting the side of the backboard and
Correct.
all
Like
that
a
shit.
Football player, they didn't start off running
Correct.
as fast as they can run now. So
Yeah.
most people demonize it, but I think failing is a part of every business.
Plus, what was the stat that you told me about Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
about
Michael
him?
Jordan is missed more shots than anybody, but he's known as a clutch shooter. The only reason he's known as a clutch shooter because he took more shots than the whole team.
That's it right there.
You know what I mean? He
There
had
you
the
go.
confidence to take the shot.
Yes.
A lot of people don't have the confidence to take the shot.
Correct.
So that's what I always tell people. Especially for the people that's in their 20s. Don't be afraid to fail.
Right.
Don't be afraid to put everything on the line. Because if you put everything on the line and fail, let's just say you 18 and you screw up your credit, you screw up everything.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you 7 years, everything gonna wipe off anyway, and then
Right.
you're gonna have time to start again.
To redo it, yeah. And just like it's talking about with the basketball thing, like having that confidence, because it could go one of two ways.
Correct.
I could make this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Or if I miss it, okay, hey,
You
we
can
got
apply
another
to
game.
anything, like making beats.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of them started off making the Fruitable Loops, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
Fruity Loops or whatever, yeah.
It sucked
Yeah.
in the beginning, but look at them now, some of them. So
Correct, yeah.
Anything you doing is gonna be some sort of failure.
Yeah. Something too that maybe people just don't realize is the people that they idolize. So all the people that are successful, celebrities, athletes, people that are killing it in life, they have failed so many times. You look at Steve Harvey, he said he was broke,
Sleeping in
living in
his
his
car.
car. Same thing with Tyler Perry, sleeping in the cars, homeless, eating out the garbage, that type of stuff. But if there's somebody in your family or a friend that's going through that time or it's tough or they're failing, you don't give them the same amount of grace. Like these people got to where they did because they didn't give up when they failed. They just kept fucking going. So don't victimize people or don't.
And I wouldn't even call it a failure. I would just call it testing.
Yeah.
Anything
yeah.
you're doing is just testing.
Correct.
Like, no pain, no gain. That's real in business. If you
Yeah.
don't have no pain,
Correct.
you ain't really in the game.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some pain. Because when you go through pain, you do what in business?
Grow.
You evolve.
Yeah.
You gotta evolve in business. You gotta, go through the pain, lose the money, then you gain the money. Like I always tell people, I lost money, gained money, and then had money longer each time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people, especially in your family, they beat you up. They tell you, oh, you're a failure. I wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
But they ain't never did
They're not
nothing
doing
anyway.
nothing. Yeah, a lot of people haven't started anything from scratch. They just jump on the wave. But starting from scratch is hard. It's hard as hell. And you ain't always gonna have the support that you think you need or want. But you gotta find that shit within yourself to believe in yourself for you, for them, for everybody else around you. And just keep going.
And I would say
that's
just, don't be so hard on yourself just because you have a bad month or even a bad year.
correct.
Most people have a bad year and they're like, this was the horriblest year.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure if it was the horriblest year you had, you learned something from it.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing with life, business, or anything is learning from what the year brought.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna do the same thing next year, because doing the same thing over and over is insanity.
Yeah.
So why would you keep doing the same thing? So even if it's a bad year, bad month, bad day, as long as you learn something from it, you can stay positive and keep going.
Correct. And if you don't, that's on you. That's your fault. That means you were so worried about the current situation, you couldn't focus on the end goal and what the actual thing was you was trying to accomplish.
Because I know a lot of business owners I talk to, they say they depressed.
Yeah.
And I always say, okay, you depressed, but we gotta keep moving.
Correct.
Get some sunlight. Think different.
Drink
Talk to
some water.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do. Sit on the, what do you say? Sit on the park bench and watch the
Or
birds.
eat you some damn ice cream.
Whatever.
That's what you want. Or get you a big piece of cake and feel good about yourself so
Correct.
you can keep going.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's, just some of the stuff that we want to share with y'all. Hopefully, because I know it helps somebody. And just be on the lookout for more stuff that we have from Black Excellence, from EveryCent.us, from what else we got?
We got a big surprise coming up, but we're going to announce it.
We can't tell y'all that just yet. But thank y'all. We appreciate all the love and support, man. Tell them what to do.
Let's go.